I think it was Billy Preston back in 1974 who first said, "Nothing from nothing leaves nothing." But in Peyton Manning's case, nothing from nothing might just leave a championship ring.
Zilch. He's done nothing, and it's wonderful. He's done nothing, and it's fabulous. He's done nothing, and it's spectacular. And if he can somehow muster up the courage to continue to do nothing, the Broncos have a chance to win the Super Bowl. In the game and a half Peyton Manning's played since returning from injury, he's thrown 0 touchdown passes and 0 interceptions. With the exception of Nuggets rookie Emmanuel Mudiay, Denver sports fans have never had a reason to get so excited about that digit before. How ironic. The guy best known for all the outrageous video game numbers, 71,940 yards, 539 touchdowns, is most likely to help his team capture a title with goose eggs. Oh, sure, it might be nice if Manning occasionally tossed one into the end zone between now and February 7th, but he doesn't really need to, and the best part is, Pepe finally understands that.
Our defense has been outstanding all season. They have led us to this point. Let's make that clear.
The Broncos' defense and kicking games are so strong, Peyton can win by quietly managing the offense into field goal range a few times. Patriots head coach Bill Belichick has been devising ways to beat Manning for nearly 2 decades. What's he gonna do now? Prevent him from handing the ball off? From throwing screen passes? He doesn't do anything anymore, except win.
So what's the one moment from the Broncos season so far that you think best defines the team's journey to the Super Bowl? Roby's scoop and score to complete the miracle comeback in Kansas City? Anderson's overtime touchdown run in the snow to beat the Patriots? Ware's recovery of a wild snap to finish off the Bengals? For me, it's easy.
Broncos history is rich with signature moments. There's the drive.
Touchdown!
And there's the fumble.
Miner loses the ball.
And there's the helicopter.
Head first, he dives inside the 5-yard line. My goodness!
And now,
The run, the 12-yard run.
actually, I've got a much better name. The paper airplane. Spelled P-E-Y, of course.
Head first slide.
Peyton Manning's third-quarter scramble during the AFC Championship game only covered 12 yards, but it may have carried the Broncos 931 miles, all the way from Denver to the Super Bowl in Santa Clara, California. Manning's willingness to stick his surgically repaired neck out and lunge for a first down was a remarkable act of leadership. The paper airplane was even more powerful, considering the fact Manning had nearly the identical opportunity during last year's playoff game with the Colts, wide open field in front of him on third down, and threw an incomplete pass instead. John Elway got blasted by a pair of Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 32, spinning around like the blade on a chopper. Manning glided through the air and then crashed nose first into the ground. The helicopter, the paper airplane. Funny thing about both aircraft, they each might just carry the Broncos to the same place.
Not so sure a helicopter or a paper airplane will do in Super Bowl 50. They might need a torpedo bomber to beat Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
Mine's like a space shuttle.
We have used the
You're such an overachiever,
last
Joe.
minute and a half during that story to make our own paper
It does
airplane.
look like a Ferrari. Look at that. I mean,
Look at her.
ours looks like
done this
first
before.
grade.
Wow.
No, mine may not
I said,
fly.
do you guys remember how to make a paper airplane? And immediately these two dive in and make these beauties. All right, you ready?
We have a
On
lot
the
of
count of
time.
three, let's see
Mine's
who's got the
not gonna
best
go.
one.
Okay,
That
which
middle
way
camera
we-
right there.
at the middle
1,
camera?
2, 3. Mine's 2.
Oh,
Oh!
mine went farthest.
Adele wins again.
That's mine. Look at us. Oh,
Kathy's
whose is
still on the
that?
desk.
What?
Sometimes it's good to be wrong. Some moron in the local media missed badly on the biggest story in town back in March of 2012, and it all worked out for the best.
Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I truly have enjoyed being your quarterback.
All right, I'll play this Peyton Manning to the Broncos game for the next few months if you insist, but it ain't going to happen.
The Broncos think they can make this happen, and as we speak, they are trying to make Peyton Manning a Denver Bronco. What began as just a courtesy interview, Peyton Manning was planning all along to speak with John Elway about possibly joining the Broncos, has now become very serious. Peyton Manning picked up his telephone this morning and called John Elway directly just before 10 o'clock Mountain Time to inform him that he was indeed joining the Denver Broncos. Never gonna happen? Oh, it happened all right. Peyton Manning's 4 years in Denver were not only real, but historic. Although he only played 24% of his remarkable pro football career for the Broncos, this is where Manning set so many of his NFL passing records that make it easy to argue he's the greatest quarterback ever. It was with the Broncos in 2013 when Manning established new single-season marks for passing touchdowns, 55, and yardage, 5,477. It was with the Broncos in 2015 that he established new career marks for passing touchdowns, now 539, yardage, 71,940, and victories, an even 200, including the postseason. Along the way, he led the Broncos to one Super Bowl, which they lost, and then made an unlikely comeback in time for another, which they won. Funny thing is, without that championship at the end, most Broncos fans would have considered Manning's time in Denver a complete failure. With it, he'll be remembered as one of the team's all-time greats and have his name added to the stadium's Ring of Fame. The Broncos' Peyton Manning era. That sure went fast. Seems like only yesterday. Have you signed many bobbleheads before?
I haven't signed many legs in a while. So
Well, Elway signed a butt on his, so this is
keep that between you and him.
asking an athlete for an autograph is considered very unprofessional, but you already knew that about me. We'll be right back. Hi, everybody. The only bad part about the way Rocky's rookie Trevor Story has begun his career is the fact we've already exhausted every silly story pun, and it's only been 3 games. Gather around, kiddies. Let me tell you a juicy bedtime story.
And this ball is catered left center field.
Same old story.
Gone. Home run, Trevor Story.
With a first-inning home run during today's victory over the Arizona Diamondbacks, Trevor Story wrote his name on the pages of the record books, becoming the first major leaguer ever to homer in each of his first 3 games. The Trevor-ending story goes something like this. Colorado's new shortstop authored the most spellbinding debut of all time, bookmarking 2 balls over the fence in Monday's season opener. What seemed like just a cute little short story turned into a novel, a tall tale, pure fiction on Tuesday when Story added a footnote to his narrative, 3rd home run in 2 days. And then, this afternoon, the plot thickens in Chapter 3.
It's just kind of a surreal feeling. You know, I'm not trying to do anything too special, honestly. I'm just trying to go up there and get a good pitch to hit and not miss it. And I've done that the past few times.
Who knows how many pages will be written for this fabulous fable? All we can really hope for is a happy ending.
It is quite a story, pun intended, yeah.
Texas Rangers second baseman Rougned Odor still hasn't been told how long he'll be suspended for, so while we wait, put up your dukes.
First of all, let's get something clear. That is not a sucker punch. Both men are squared up, both are making a fist, but Rougned Odor simply throws his first and lands the most devastating punch in baseball history, directly on Jose Bautista's jaw, nearly knocked his beard off. Baseball fights are usually uneventful, but not always. 10 years ago, nearly to the day, Michael Barrett slugged A.J. Przinsky in the face. That was a sucker punch. Nolan Ryan connected with so many right hooks in a short period of time that Robin Ventura was nicknamed Speedbag after their 1993 brawl. A pair of all-star third basemen, George Brett and Greg Nettles, each landed a few punches in the 1997 playoffs. Champ Summers ran completely across the field to get his hands on Pascual Perez in 1984, but Bob Horner got in the way, and then the fans got involved. Summers never found Perez. The most dangerous incident by far was in 1965 when Juan Marichal hit Johnny Roseborough with a bat. They later became best friends. I love happy endings. The Rockies might have the fewest skirmishes of any major league team, although Charlie Hayes charged Ramon Martinez just a few months into the 1993 inaugural season. Rocks were kind of feisty in 2000. Brian Hunter went after Scott Sullivan in July. That was a bad idea. And just a month later, Andres Galarraga, then with the Braves, chased down Colorado pitcher John Wasden. Yorvit Torrealba and Matt Kemp had a pretty good tussle in 2008, but that's about it. You see, the Rockies don't fight because they don't really have any rivals, and their games are rarely significant in the standings. All those other brawls, including this weekend's Rangers-Blue Jays rumble, involve playoff teams battling for championships. Sounds crazy, but we'll probably know the Rockies are relevant again when they start fighting more often. Sometimes nothing tastes more like a pennant race than a knuckle sandwich.
Long before Odor Bautista, there was Soicher Clark. This is why that punch looks so familiar. Kyle and I had a similar incident during the 10 o'clock news exactly 3 years ago tonight, May 16, 2013. Happy third anniversary, Kyle.
You know, Kathy and I look so disturbed about that. Did you see our
Yeah.
We were like, what are they doing?
You can swing back if you want in honor of the occasion.
I'll take my opportunity when it presents itself.